The city lights shimmered like scattered diamonds against the dusk, but for Emily Carter, none of it felt beautiful anymore. She sat alone in her wheelchair near the rooftop railing of the cafe, staring down at the blurred glow of headlights weaving through the streets far below. Her hands trembled slightly on her lap as she reminded herself that she shouldn't even be here. She wasn't dressed for a date, her heart wasn't prepared for one, and worst of all, she had no idea that the entire thing was a setup designed as a cruel joke. Her friends had told her they were taking her out to lift her spirits, get her some fresh air, and help her feel normal again. But beneath their supportive smiles hid cameras, whispers, and plans she wasn't meant to know. They wanted to film her reaction, to secretly record the moment the wealthy CEO would walk away the instant he realized she was not what he'd been told. They expected humiliation. They expected heartbreak. But no one expected what actually happened instead. If you believe in kindness, redemption, and second chances, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories to the world. Emily had once been the type of young woman who ran everywhere, into the ocean waves, through the woods behind her childhood home, down the narrow streets of their small town in Tennessee. She had always laughed too loudly, loved too deeply, and dreamed too freely. But all of that changed one rain-soaked evening 8 months ago when a drunk driver sped through a red light and shattered more than her spine. The doctors called it a miracle that she survived. Emily often thought it might have been kinder if she hadn't. Her legs were now paralyzed from the waist down, leaving her trapped in a wheelchair she had never imagined becoming part of her identity. She lost her job, lost her confidence, and lost the version of herself she used to love. Worse yet, her boyfriend at the time left her only 3 weeks after the accident, saying he couldn't handle the responsibility. His words replayed in her mind often, clawing at whatever was left of her self-worth. Her friends, well, people she thought were friends, insisted she needed to get back out there. They told her she needed a fresh start, something exciting, something wild. But Emily was beginning to realize that sometimes loneliness was safer than the company of those who didn't truly care. She noticed the way they sometimes exchanged glances when they thought she wasn't watching, the way they spoke to her with forced pity and impatient encouragement. Tonight, she would learn exactly how deep that insincerity ran. Sitting across from her at the rooftop cafe was Noah Harrison, a man whose reputation stretched far beyond the city skyline. In every business magazine, he was described as brilliant, strategic, unshakably disciplined. The CEO of Harrison Technologies, a rising empire in software innovation, Noah carried himself with a quiet, mysterious intensity. His tailored gray suit complemented his sharp facial structure and dark, thoughtful eyes. Though he had every material success one could dream of, whispers often followed him, that behind the wealth and corporate acclaim was a man who lived in solitude, detached from real emotion, unreachable by the ordinary world. No one had seen him date in years. Noah didn't know he was walking into a setup either. His assistant had told him this was a confidential meeting with a potential philanthropic partner, something involving a new disability support initiative. Noah was actively funding multiple humanitarian projects, believing that his fortune meant nothing if it didn't improve someone's life. He had assumed this meeting was another opportunity to expand the company's outreach. What he didn't expect was to find a breathtaking young woman in a wheelchair, dressed in soft neutral colors that contrasted the grief lingering in her beautiful, tear-rimmed eyes. Emily didn't notice that 2 people were hiding in the background, Mia and Logan, holding up their phones, recording and whispering in anticipation. Their expressions were smug, amused, certain that this would be a quick disaster. Mia had pointed to Emily earlier and said that the CEO was known for perfection and wouldn't even entertain someone like her. Logan had agreed, stating that Emily needed a dose of reality. But Noah was not the man they imagined. Emily sat stiffly, unable to look Noah in the eye. Her throat tightened with the suffocating fear that this was just another situation where she would be pitted, judged, or silently rejected. Her accident had left more than physical scars. It left her questioning every value she once believed she had. As Noah studied her, quietly, gently, he sensed the storm of sadness beneath her composed exterior. Even before she said a word, he could tell she was carrying something unbearably heavy. Emily tried to steady her breathing. Every second felt like a spotlight on her insecurities. She wished she had never agreed to come, never let anyone convince her that she was deserving of attention or affection. She felt like an obligation, a burden disguised as a friend, and now she feared this stranger would see the same thing. But Noah leaned forward slightly, his eyes softening, not with pity, but with genuine interest, as if he wanted to understand her, not evaluate her. He didn't flinch at her wheelchair. He didn't scan her body with judgment. Instead, he watched her expression, trying to read the emotions she was struggling to hide. He could tell she wanted to speak, but something was stopping her. So he waited. Patiently. Silently. Respectfully. It was that unusual patience that first cracked the wall around Emily's heart. The night air grew cooler as the city hummed beneath them. Emily finally lifted her gaze, and for the first time, their eyes met. Noah's expression wasn't cold or distant the way the media often portrayed him. Instead, it held warmth, subtle but unmistakable. It was the look of someone who cared enough to listen, even without understanding the full story. Slowly, Emily began to speak. Not about her accident directly, but about the strange ways life could change overnight. She talked about losing her job, losing herself, losing the dreams she once planned with a man who promised forever but delivered nothing but abandonment. She didn't reveal everything at once, her words came in hesitant fragments, like scattered pieces of a broken vase. Yet Noah didn't interrupt or rush her. He leaned in slightly, nodding occasionally, absorbing every word with quiet sincerity. From the corner of the rooftop, Mia frowned. This wasn't the reaction she predicted. Logan narrowed his eyes, disappointed the CEO hadn't already gotten up and left. They exchanged confused whispers, unable to believe their prank was failing. As Emily spoke, Noah felt something shift inside him. He wasn't sure what it was, but he felt drawn to her, not out of sympathy, but out of admiration. Beneath her pain was an undeniable strength, a quiet resilience that resonated with him on a level he hadn't felt in years. He saw a woman who had been robbed of choice yet still showed up to life, even when it hurt. He saw her worth, even when she could not. In a calm, gentle voice, Noah began speaking too, not about his success or career, but about moments in his life the world didn't know. He spoke of growing up with a sick mother he adored, watching her suffer through years of medical treatments and learning patience, compassion, and silent strength from her. He talked about the loneliness that followed her passing, the way it pushed him into his work, making him forget the warmth of genuine connection. As he shared, his voice softened, revealing a vulnerability Emily never expected from someone so powerful. The rooftop lights reflected in Emily's eyes as she listened. For the first time in months, she felt seen, not as a girl in a wheelchair, not as a tragedy, but as a person. She felt understood in a way she had longed for. Noah wasn't judging her. He wasn't pulling away. He wasn't merely tolerating her presence. He was connecting. Mia and Logan, still recording, were now visibly startled. This was not content they could mock online. This was something real, something raw, something too heartfelt to twist into cruelty. As the evening deepened, Noah gently asked if Emily needed anything, if she was comfortable, if the breeze was too cold, if she wanted tea or water. He asked with genuine care, as though ensuring her comfort was as natural as breathing. Emily's chest tightened, startled by the kindness she didn't know how to accept. She wasn't used to anyone thinking of her needs anymore, not after months of being told to stop being dramatic or toughen up. No one took the time to consider her feelings. But Noah did. Then something unexpected happened. As Emily adjusted slightly in her wheelchair, Noah instinctively moved the chair she was positioned near, making sure the space was open and easier for her to maneuver. It was a small gesture, almost unnoticeable, but to Emma it